Good morning, and welcome to Creative Living Fellowship's Sunday morning pre-service meditation. My name is Elena Larner, and I will be guiding this meditation this morning. We're going to do approximately 20-minute guided silent meditation. The only guiding I'm going to be doing is a little breathing before we begin, and a little centering down, getting us relaxed. People try to practice stillness. Stillness is something that your mind just doesn't do, but we can relax as much as possible. And so we'll do that with some intentional breathing and then go into the silence. So if you will close your eyes and breathe with me, we're going to breathe 3 breaths in, hold for the count of 3, and then breathe out for the count of 4. We'll do that 3 times. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Last time, breathe in, hold, breathe out. And now as we sit here with our eyes closed, whether you're laying down or you're sitting upright, keep your back as straight as possible, although you're relaxing. Letting go of tension and tightness is what we're all about. Because we're letting go all of those things that take the place of us making room for spirit in our conscious thought. So just like we don't pay attention to why we're still on the planet and not floating off in space, it's gravity that holds us down, and we don't have to force it, because that's part of what God does. That's part of the science we don't have to care about. And meditation is a kind of science as well. And so breathing now the way we normally do at your regular pace, we're going to start at the top of our heads and relax from the top of our heads to the tips of our toes and into the earth. Just breathe naturally. Straighten your back. Untense your shoulders. Starting with your scalp, release any and all tension in your scalp. Relax your scalp. We hold a lot of tension in our scalp and our forehead. Relax it. Let it go. Relax your eyes. Relax your cheeks and your chin. Relax your throat and the back of your head and your neck. Continue breathing. Relax your shoulders. Drop your shoulders and loosen them, rotating them forward a few times. And then rotate the other way. Rotate backwards. Rotate. Relax your chest and your heart space. Relax your belly. Relax your hips. Relax your back and your lower back and your sit bones. Remembering to keep your back straight. Tuck your chin in just a little bit. Relax your thighs, your knees, and the back of your knees. And that's another place where we hold tension. Relax your calves, your shins, your lower legs. Relax your ankles, your feet. Wiggle your toes. And come back and relax your upper arms, your elbows, your forearm, your hands, wiggle your fingers. And now starting at the top of your head, see a flow of relaxation flood from the top of your head, from the crown of your head, down over your body, over your face, your forehead, your chin, the back of your head, over your shoulders, your chest, your arms, your hips, your thighs, your knees, and down into the ground. One more relaxation, one more wave from your head to your chest, to your hips, flowing to your knees, your lower legs, your feet, your toes, and into the earth. Take a breath in. And as you let it go, we'll begin. The sound of the chime signals that our meditation period is coming to a close. So just slowly open your eyes. Thank you very much for joining me here today. Creative Living Fellowship offers meditation Monday through Friday at 12 noon and Sundays at 9:30 preceding the 10 a.m. service. We offer that on our YouTube channel and on Facebook. I hope you enjoyed that refreshing little space that we have. Meditation is always appropriate. It's an always appropriate place for peace. From my heart to yours, namaste.
Good morning, CLF. I want to start off with a song that I wrote. It's called My Divine Good. I can't have until I believe. I can't have until I receive. I can't have until I connect. I can't have until I accept my divine good. My divine good. My divine good. My divine good. I once was blind but could not see all the blessings in front of me. I saw the light leading the way, getting brighter every time I pray for my divine good. My divine good. My divine good. Yeah, my divine good. Now I'm free from all the pain. I walk in the sun and out of the rain. I just said yes to the spirit that gives. In gratitude is now where I live for my divine good. My divine good. My divine good. My divine good. And you can do the same. Just go ahead and stake your claim to your divine good. Your divine good.
Thank you so much, Reverend Glenn. Good morning, and welcome to the Creative Living Fellowship online Sunday service. My name is Deborah Covington, and I will be serving as your Sunday service host today. Whether you're joining us on Zoom, our website, Facebook, or YouTube, it is my pleasure to welcome you here. As usual, we ask you to all please make sure to leave a comment and let us know that you are here. Creative Living Fellowship is a religious science church, and we honor all paths that lead to truth. Our deep intention here is to be a community of love, care, and connection that opens hearts, expands consciousness, and transforms lives. And we do that through the principles and practices of the science of mind and spirit. The science of mind is a new thought, ancient wisdom teaching that provides us with tools for living our best possible lives. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said, "You are more than you appear to be. Life is greater than you have ever known it. The best is yet to come." Reverend Dr. Sherry has the day off. She will be back next week. We are, however, in very good hands with our long-term CLF friend, Reverend Glenn Swain, who will be serving as our musical inspiration and guest speaker today. Welcome back, Reverend Glenn. Reverend Mary Jane Hyde is holding high watch for us today. This means that she is sitting in meditation and prayerful contemplation, holding a space for the perfect unfolding of this service. Thank you, Mary Jane. Practitioner Elena Larner is a practitioner of the day. She facilitated our pre-service meditation, and she will be bringing us the opening prayer and the inspirational reading. After the opening prayer, we will have the centering moment. This is a time for centering and reflection. I invite you to participate, turning within and sensing into the words and music, and even singing along if you wish. After the centering moment, Elena will be back with the inspirational reading for today. Right now, here's Elena with our opening prayer.
You close your eyes with me as we center down. We know that there is only one life, one power, one presence, one love, and that it's that which we call God, the good omnipotent. And we are one in it, of it, by way of it. And we are filled full with its love, its guidance, its goodness. And I speak a word right now for today's service, a word of blessing for Reverend Glenn, whose message today is God inspired and brings us what we're all here to receive and what he is here to share. I bless Reverend Sherry and her much deserved day off. I bless all those in service today. And I bless our congregation for joining us and making the circle perfect as we give and we receive. I know we hear what we are meant to hear. We learn what we are meant to learn. And we leave this service filled full with God's love and goodness. I give thanks for this. And I release this word knowing it is already done. This service is already perfect. And I say, and so it is. Amen.
The world is a place of great love for all. The world is a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, We're all from the one. The world is a place of great peace. I am a place of great love for all. I am a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, I am a place of great peace. You are a place of great love for all. You are a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, you are a place of great peace. We are a place of great love for all. We are a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, we are a place of great peace. The world is a place of great peace.
Today's reading is from the Science of Mind textbook by Ernest Holmes, page 251. At all times, I am aware of my immediate oneness with God, and the glory of my thought makes me immune to negative experiences, even to negative suggestions. I desert fear and turn resolutely and joyously to faith, and swiftly into my experiences comes the desired good. I give thanks that I am divine and that I know my divinity. A sacred refuge is this inner place where my thoughts contact and consciously become one with the indwelling Almighty.
Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Pour your joy in me, pour your joy into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Pour your joy in me, pour your joy into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Shine your light on me, shine your light into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Share your light with me, share your light into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Sing your song in me, sing your song into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Sing your song in me, sing your song into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, 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 wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me, and pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, 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 wonderful Spirit. Good morning, CLF. How are you? This is Reverend Glenn Swain, and welcome here on this holiday weekend. It's a holiday weekend. We're filling in for Reverend Sherry today. Reverend Sherry's maybe take a little bit of time off, a much-needed time off. So we're here to bless Reverend Sherry as she goes about her way this weekend, and we come together here today to really talk about an interesting subject. The name of my talk is Getting Back on the Interstate. And of course, it's a play on words. It's not necessarily the interstate like I-10. And by the way, who wants to get on I-10, by the way? But this is really about the interstate, I-N-N-E-R, the interstate, getting back on our interstate. And what we're going to do, we're going to talk about the importance of being always in our interstate, tapping into that silent whisper within. And then we're going to talk about maybe what happens when we don't tap into that oneness that is uniquely ours. And then after that, we're going to talk about some things we can do to make sure that we're always getting on the interstate. All right? All right, so that's what we're going to do this morning. It's going to be, I think, a really good talk, and it was fun putting it together for you. You know, I was making notes for this talk this week. I remember this had been probably 10, 15 years ago. I was doing some typing work, and I was listening to internet radio. And there was a station I used to listen to called Soul Sounds or something. It's just really background music, really. And while I was working, and they played, it really caught my attention. There was a song that they were playing, just sounds in the background. And all of a sudden, a NASA announcer, his voice came on, and it said, there was a voice that was counting down the launch of Apollo 11 in 1969. What was really interesting, what got my attention, when I got to T-minus 10 seconds, the announcer in this voice, obviously this was just going to the spacecraft itself before it lifted off. It said, guidance is now internal. Guidance is now internal. And I remember that so much, that time stopping working and thinking, boy, that's true. Guidance is always internal with us. And it just made me stop and think of just how important it is to always be tapping into that sacred space that is ours. Ernest Holmes, our founder, called the inner self, this inner place, a sacred refuge, and how true that is. He says in the textbook, a sacred refuge is this inner place where my thoughts and contacts can consciously become one with an indwelling Almighty. Let me read that again. A sacred refuge is this inner place where my thought connects and consciously becomes one with the indwelling Spirit. How important that is, huh? Holmes, throughout any of his writings, really under the undertow of everything, the foundation of everything, is that he's really asking us to treat ourselves to this inner sense of unity with the all God and all good that there is and that's working for us if we tap into this. Ernest Holmes called this an uncorrupted place. It's unmoving, it's unchanging, it's completely evergreen. It is wisdom, it is all-knowing. Holmes wrote that hidden away in inner nature of man is the law of his life. So I think every Sunday when you go to a Science of Mind-based church, what you have is a minister who is really talking about mainly the same things every Sunday, maybe in a different way. And one of these things that's the foundation for all of us, I believe, is tapping into that oneness that is within this inner space, this uncorrupted place that is still pure, a pure essence. And how important it is to keep in contact with that, because that's the answers to everything that we have. Now,
sometimes a problem comes in, and this happens to everybody, by the way, ministers too. We can get off track a little bit. We can not necessarily ministers on this, but a lot of people that I counsel with and meet every day in my job as a hospice chaplain and also a minister, is that there is a belief of a God out there. And it's really interesting to talk with someone when we get to that place where we're talking about it, and have them, kind of a light goes on for them when they see that, wait a minute, maybe it's not out there, maybe it's within. Maybe it's within. And it's really an interesting moment when somebody comes to that realization. And if I can get someone to at least get to, I never thought about it that way. That's about as close as I can get to maybe helping someone move into their spirituality and tap into the one God, the one essence that is within them. I think too, what happens is we can, it's very natural for us as humans to wait for something to change, and then I'm going to change whenever it changes. And this is a belief that calls on us to go out and do it ourselves. We can pray and we can treat and do all of our spiritual practices, and then we don't we can't just sit down and watch television. We got to get out there and make it happen to keep it going. So that's another thing I see too. People believing a God or an essence out there, and not they wanted something to change, but they don't want to change themselves. Interesting story. I had a friend of mine lived down in Florida. She had a son who was on a spiritual path and actually decided to go to India to meet a guru there or something, and flew all the way to India and spent some time there. I don't know how long it was. He spent some time there and came back and found that he had some of the same problems that he was dealing with before he left. He went halfway around the world to maybe found some answers, and he came back with really no more answers than he had when he left. And there's an old saying that wherever you go, there you are, and that's a perfect example of that. We can travel the world, but the world is inside us, and all these answers to any questions we may have are always within us, and it's really our responsibility to go within, so we can chart our own path. It's so we can make our own decisions, so we're not being in inertia. Interesting word. Many years ago, when I was in practitioner training, I was in my first year. Some of the best therapy, the cheapest therapy you'll ever have is the first year of practitioner work, by the way. But we were talking about words, and the word inertia came up for me. And I found it very interesting. I did some research on it. I remember in class that day, and it really meant a lot to me. And I've never forgotten it either. Inertia is basically something that is going, a force that is going this way. It'll keep on going that way until something knocks it to make it go another way. And it really spoke to me for a number of things in my life that I've looked back on and gone, wow, that was inertia. I kept on doing the same thing, getting the same results. And then sometimes it's very negative, by the way, will hit, and you'll have to go somewhere. You have to do something. So it's always better to be able to be in that place where we can make our own decisions, where we're not knocked in the head by a 2x4 to make some changes in our life. So we certainly have the responsibility to go within and to make these changes and to make our own decisions. And like Reverend Sherry says, I'm sure all ministers say, it's always an inside job. Yeah, it's always us. It's always us working from within to without. Holmes wrote, he said, it is through our inner thought that we contact God. That is so important. He wrote a really big textbook. Here it is. And he could have maybe gotten away with writing one sentence, and that's it. It is through our inner thought that we contact God, that we connect with the divine. Isn't that interesting? Been talking about, how we when we get out of the practice of getting on the inner state, what can happen to us. And Ernest Holmes has, this was in the textbook also. It is a really interesting phrase, and that phrase is far country. And I've used it with other people, and it really, it gets their attention whenever I use this phrase. And basically, far country is when we get out of our own selves, where we're not tapping into that inner essence, this uncorrupted place that is very natural to each and every person. And we get off into far country. Holmes writes, it does not mean a place, it's not a place, but it is a state of consciousness. It is a conscious separation from God. I've mentioned the parable in the Bible, the prodigal son. I think last year I did a talk at CLF here on that very story itself and really what it means, and the father welcoming the wayward son, who was in far country, by the way, welcoming them back into the fold with his family there, and we'll kill the fatted calf and we shall celebrate tonight. And that is a perfect, again, example of us getting into far country. When we kind of get out of ourselves, we tend to maybe want to do it on our own. And in a way, we are doing it in our own when we go inward, but we can do it on our own and not go inward and be in far country. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully. So that's the real importance of this inner state. It's again, everyone has it. There's no one who doesn't not have it, and it's unique to each and every person. And it is at our disposal, at our beckoning, at every moment. It has been and always will be, since we've been right here, and when we'll probably leave this earth, it will still be there, that essence of the soul itself. I want to talk about a little bit about how we can stay in this inner state, which is, again, so very, very important. I'm sure Reverend Sherry has said this on Sundays. This may be another thing that in some way, shape, or form, every minister is speaking to this every Sunday. And that is, I think you know it, spiritual practices. Yeah. Spiritual practice. This is what keeps us getting on the interstate. And so we get on the interstate and making sure that we don't detour off that interstate and stay in that one place. I want to read one of the ways to do this. One of the first ways is through prayer. I don't know if you have a daily prayer consciousness. It's very, very important, and it gives you time to go within, to tap into that divine essence, that perfect essence that is yours and yours alone. Ernest Holmes writes in our textbook on page 431, very interesting. It's called The Secret of Prayer. And I believe this is Ernest Holmes looking at when Jesus spoke at the before the Sermon on the Mount, the Beatitudes. This is the blessings, the Beatitudes. Beatitudes means blessings, by the way. And this is right before he had a crowd in front of him, and the Sermon on the Mount would come a little bit later. So Ernest would go through the Bible and see these certain situations, and he would write about it in a more direct way, an easier way to read it, I think, a way he interpreted it, right? And he writes on page 431, the secret of prayer. This comes from like Matthew 6:6. The secret of prayer is the power in the outward life depends upon an unconditioned faith in and reliance upon this inner presence. We must enter the closet. That is, we are to shut out all else and enter into the presence of the Spirit in quietness, in confidence, and believing. Prayer has power, not through repetition, but by belief and acceptance. Belief and acceptance. Prayer is to be simple, direct, and receiving. We are to believe that God indwells in our life, that this divine presence is sufficient for all needs. We are to believe that God will provide for and bless us abundantly. And when we enter into this secret place, we are to leave all else behind. All hate, animosity, vindictiveness, that's hard to say, isn't it? Vindictiveness, for only in so doing can we enter. It's a very, very powerful thing that Ernest Holmes wrote in just one little paragraph. The the importance of prayer. Now, you don't have to, if you're not in a place where you can do that every day, you can get quiet and go within yourself and think about, to center yourself, basically. There's other ways of doing it also. I used to do a lot of hiking, and hiking was a very good meditative thing for me. I used to love to hike the mountains here in the valley, and it was getting good exercise, and also it was a meditation itself. So prayer and getting out in the outdoors. Sometimes I'm talking to patients and their families as a hospice chaplain, and we talk about different religions and things and different faiths. And a normal day for me is to meet someone who's a patient who's LDS, and the next one's Catholic, next one's Baptist, and the next one's an atheist, and I go home. That's a normal day for me. So I get into really interesting conversations with people, and we talk about what's important in our faith, and how do we tap into that oneness that is. And I think there's a golden thread that runs through all faiths and religions. Do unto others as they have done unto you. And there's a number of things. But I think in each and every belief and religion, there's a golden thread that runs through it. And one of those is a prayer to center ourselves. That's so very, very important. And I think it will change your life in a very direct and very positive way. If we get in the habit of praying and going within and centering ourselves each day. So the inner self is so very, very important. It's unique to me, it's unique to you, and this is our safe place. It's our safe place. The uncorrupted place has been hurt by anybody or anyone. And this is in essence like God that does not change. It stays the way it is in this absolute perfection. And our job, I encourage you, all of you, to go within and to tap into this oneness that is uniquely yours and mine and everyone else's. And I think if we do that, I know if we do that, our lives will be better. We'll be making better decisions. We'll be making decisions on our own from the heart, and not just willy-nilly or in inertia. There's that word again. So, again, getting on the interstate and staying on the interstate and not detouring from the interstate is very, very important. And I think, and I know that it will change your life. It's so very, very important. Very important. And in this knowing, let's go into prayer. Feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. What a divine blessing it is to be here on this day, on this weekend, this holiday weekend, as we come together in this divine fellowship, whether you're together with other people or you're on this Zoom broadcast right now just by yourself. I know and affirming that it is all God and it is all good. God is in my voice right now. God is in the Zoom that we're working with now, the technology and all the writings and everything discussed here and everything around you is this one God, this perfection, this love and perfect essence, and peace and joy and harmony. And I know that I, Glenn Swain, am of this complete divineness that working through all is this God essence, and I know it is the same essence that works through me as me, and it comes from this very inner place, this inner lighthouse that is uniquely mine. And I know that it always has been and always will be this unique, uncorrupted place within me. I know and affirm that this is the same for each and every person hearing this broadcast, no matter whether it's today or a week or a month from now, knowing and affirming that this very same essence is at the very heart of who each and every one of you are. The same divine light, this peace and love is in this beautiful, all-knowing, all-wisdom place within you. And in this knowing this perfection of God working through us as us, I know that as we go about our day and throughout this week and through the month, that we tap into this inner state that is within us, this peaceful state, knowing that we're making all of our decisions by tapping into this inner state, this all-knowing, this all-wisdom place, knowing that it transforms our world whenever we go within and center ourselves. No matter if it's the start of the day or the evening, no matter when, it's just so important, necessary to center ourselves. So I know that, again, as we go throughout these day and throughout this week, that we center ourselves each day and each moment, living from this divine goodness that is uniquely ours, tapping into it, knowing that we're making the right decisions and doing the right thing for us and for each and every person. And we're doing this in a peaceful and loving and conscious way. What a blessing to know that that this divine law, this prayer is pressed into this natural law that just says yes, yes, yes. Whenever it's pressed against it, knowing that what comes from within, we see on the out. And what a blessing that is. So with great love and joy, I now release this prayer into universal law, knowing that it is done. It is so thankful for this divineness, this law, this one divine essence that is God. What a blessing it is. What a blessing it is for me to be here and for all of you to be here. Listen to this message today. And for this, I give great thanks. And so it is. Thank you, CLF. Blessings, everyone.
And thank you, Reverend Glenn Swain, for that very inspired talk today about centering daily. This is our conscious giving time, the time we participate in the divine law of giving and receiving by giving of our tithes and offerings. We invite you to join in this sacred practice by tithing here at CLF. CLF is a tithing church, so as you give to CLF, we tithe 10% of our income to local nonprofit organizations that are serving our communities and making a real difference in the lives of real people. Our 2024 second quarter tithe recipient is the 1 in 10 Promise of a New Day program that provides housing, navigation services for LGBTQ plus and allied folks ages 18 to 24 who are at risk of or are currently experiencing homelessness. We are so pleased to be able to support 1 in 10's housing program. For online giving, please click the donate link on our website or in the comments on our Facebook page, or you may use your cell phone to text to give. The text to give number is on the screen, and that number is 844-941-4360. Let us now repeat our offering blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God. And so it is. Here again is Reverend Glenn Swain with our offering music.
God on the mountain. Life is easy when you're up on the mountain and you've got peace of mind like you've never known. But things change when you're down in the valley. But don't lose faith, you're never alone. For the God on the mountain is the God in the valley. When things go wrong, He'll make them right. And the God of the good times is the God in the bad times. The God of the day is still God of the night. We talk of faith up on the mountain. Talk comes so easy when life's at its best. Down in the valley of trials and temptations, that's where our faith is really put to the test. For the God on the mountain is the God in the valley. When things go wrong, He'll make them right. And the God of the good times is still God in the bad times. The God of the day is still God of the night. Yes, the God of the day is still God of the night. God of the day is the God of the night.
Thank you, Reverend Glenn. It was so awesome to have you with us again today. That was just fantastic. I'm Nicole, and it is now time for announcements. Well, in recognition of Memorial Day, the office will be closed tomorrow, May 27th, and we'd like to wish you all a happy and safe Memorial Day. Remember that we offer midday meditation Monday through Friday at noon on our Facebook and YouTube channel. We also hold a 20-minute pre-service meditation at 9:35 in Zoom or on our live stream. Our Sunday prayer room is closed today, but we do have practitioners on call. Just click on our prayer link on our website for their contact information, or you can send a written prayer request via email to prayer@creativelivingfellowship.com. Just put prayer request in the subject line. That makes sure that they receive it. Upon receipt, all written prayer requests are prayed over for 30 days. Remember, you don't need to walk around with a heavy heart. You can join us in Zoom next Sunday. Just be sure to identify yourself with your first and last name, because we do check to make sure that we know you. Also, we lock the Zoom room at 10:10 a.m., so don't be late. You can find the information for all of our events online on our website under events or in your weekly newsletter. That is it for announcements, and it is now back to Deborah Covington.
Thank you, Nicole. You may find the following items on our website. That's the treatment for supply in our Science of Mind textbook on page 262. You can also find on our website A Prayer for Our Country by Ernest Holmes. Please continue to connect with each other. And now our closing song, Let There Be Peace.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, we are family. Let us walk with each other, perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there